Hello everyone. Welcome to podcast session. Today, I want to talk about special topic. The topic is how to get out of your comfort zone. So, if you are listening to this, I want you to relax, breathe slowly, and just listen. Let's begin by understanding what the comfort zone really is. The comfort zone is not always a happy place. It is not always comfortable in a good way. Sometimes it is only familiar. The comfort zone is a mental space where everything feels predictable. You know what will happen. You know how people will react. You know how much energy you need to use inside the comfort zone. You rarely feel surprised, but you also rarely feel excited. For many people, the comfort zone is silence. For others, it is routine. For some, it is avoidance. The comfort zone often looks calm on the outside, but inside, it can feel empty. Most people do not stay in the comfort zone because they are lazy. They stay because they are afraid. Fear is the real reason. Fear of failure, fear of embarrassment, fear of rejection, fear of being judged. Your brain is designed to protect you. So when you think about doing something new, your brain asks one question. Is this safe? If the answer is unclear, your brain chooses comfort. And comfort feels like safety, even when it slowly kills your growth. Here is an important truth. Nothing grows inside the comfort zone. Growth happens when you feel slightly uncomfortable, slightly nervous, slightly unsure. That uncomfortable feeling is not danger. It is growth trying to happen. Most people misunderstand this feeling. They think discomfort means something is wrong, but often discomfort means something is changing. The problem is, we are not taught how to sit with discomfort. We are taught to escape it. For a long time, my comfort zone was being quiet. I stayed quiet, not because I had nothing to say, but because staying quiet felt safer than speaking. I avoided situations where I had to explain myself. I avoided conversations that could expose my thoughts. I avoided opportunities because they required courage. On the surface, my life looked stable. But inside, I felt frustrated. I knew I was capable of more, but I didn't trust myself enough to step forward. That is the hidden cost of the comfort zone. The comfort zone has a price, and most people only realize it too late. The price is regret of not trying, regret of staying silent, regret of watching others grow while you stay the same. Comfort feels good today, but regret feels heavy tomorrow. And one day, you wake up and realize that time moved forward, but you didn't. Many people think leaving the comfort zone means doing something extreme. That is wrong. You don't leave the comfort zone in one big step. You leave it in many small, uncomfortable steps. Very small steps. So small that your fear cannot stop you. For example, speaking one sentence instead of staying silent, asking one question instead of avoiding conversation, showing up even when you don't feel ready. Small actions done consistently change your identity. One of the biggest mindset changes is learning how to interpret discomfort. Discomfort is not a warning. It is a signal. It signals that you are learning. It signals that you are expanding. It signals that your comfort zone is being challenged. If you always wait to feel confident before acting, you will wait forever. Let me say this clearly. Feeling fear does not mean you are weak. It means you are human. Strong people feel fear too. The difference is they don't let fear make decisions for them. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is action despite fear. Every time you act while feeling afraid, you train your nervous system to handle discomfort. And over time, what once felt terrifying becomes normal. Here is a powerful truth. The comfort zone is created by repetition. So is confidence. The first time you do something new, it feels uncomfortable. The second time, it feels less scary. The 10th time, it feels normal. The 100th time, it feels easy. This is how humans adapt. You don't remove fear by thinking. You remove fear by experience. One big reason people stay in the comfort zone is the need to be perfect. They wait until they are ready. They wait until they know everything. They wait until they feel confident. That day never comes. Growth requires imperfection. Growth requires mistakes. Growth requires looking awkward sometimes. When you accept that, you will not be perfect. You give yourself permission to grow. Here is something important. The comfort zone never disappears. It only expands. When you leave your comfort zone today, tomorrow, that new place becomes comfortable. Then a new edge appears. Growth is a lifelong process, and that is a good thing. If you are listening to this, and you feel stuck, quiet, or afraid to move forward, I want you to remember this. You don't need to change your whole life today. You don't need to be brave all the time. You only need one small step, one uncomfortable action, one honest attempt, one moment of courage. That is how you leave the comfort zone. Slowly, gently, consistently. Next, I want to talk about something very important in life, something that many people want, but many people struggle with. After comfort zone, I want to talk about how to start building relationships, not romantic relationships only, but human relationships in general. Friendships, connections, social bonds. For many people, building relationships feels hard, not because they don't want connection, but because they fear rejection, fear of saying the wrong thing, fear of being ignored, fear of not being interesting enough. Many people think they are bad at relationships, but the truth is, most people were never taught how to build them. We grow up learning math, learning language, learning rules. But no one teaches us how to connect emotionally. So when relationships feel difficult, we blame ourselves. But it's not a personal failure. It's a skill that was never trained. Before building relationships, we must understand what a relationship really means. A relationship is not performance. It is not about impressing someone. It is not about saying the perfect words. A relationship is built through shared presence. It is two people feeling safe enough to be themselves around each other. That safety does not appear instantly. It grows slowly. That is why rushing relationships often fails. The first step in building relationships does not happen outside. It happens inside your mind. Many people approach relationships with this question: how can I be liked? This question creates anxiety. A better question is, how can I understand this person? When you focus on understanding, pressure disappears. You no longer need to perform. You only need to listen. This mindset change is powerful. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking that relationships are built by talking a lot. In reality, relationships are built by listening deeply. When someone feels heard, they feel valued. You don't need impressive stories. You don't need jokes. You need attention. When you listen without interrupting, without planning your response, without judging you creates connection. This is something many people forget. Building relationships does not start with deep conversations. It starts with small moments. A simple greeting, a simple question, a simple smile. These moments seem small, but they create familiarity. Familiarity creates comfort. Comfort creates trust. Trust creates relationships. You don't need to rush the process. Fear of rejection is one of the biggest barriers, but rejection is not always personal. Sometimes people are tired. Sometimes they are distracted. Sometimes they are dealing with their own problems. When a connection does not grow, it does not mean you are unworthy. It simply means timing or energy did not match. Understanding this reduces emotional pain. Many people try too hard too fast. They text too much. They push for closeness. This often creates discomfort. Healthy relationships grow through consistency, not intensity. Showing up regularly. Being kind regularly. Being respectful regularly. Small, consistent actions build strong bonds over time. This is a very important lesson. Not everyone will like you. Not everyone will connect with you. And that is okay. You are not meant to build relationships with everyone. Trying to be liked by everyone leads to exhaustion. Real connection happens when you allow yourself to be selective. At some point, relationships need honesty. Not extreme honesty, but real honesty. Sharing thoughts, sharing feelings, sharing experiences. Vulnerability builds trust, but only when shared gradually. You don't open everything at once. You open slowly, just like trust. One of the biggest misunderstandings is expecting quick results. Strong relationships take time, months, years. They are built through shared experiences, shared struggles, shared growth. If you are patient, relationships become deeper. If you are listening to this, and you feel lonely or disconnected or unsure how to start, remember this. Relationships do not start with confidence. They start with courage. One small step. One honest moment. One real connection. That is enough. Thank you for listening.